Hello, hi, welcome back. So today, finally, we are going to start Node.js course. That is our complete backend development part two. Okay. So we have studied so many things in JavaScript. We have got asynchronous operations as well in JavaScript. We have studied. So by using all those things, now we are going to new journey that is Node.js. Okay. So as we know, like JavaScript is able to run on the terminal or on the other than browser in the VS Code, all because of Node.js, right? So these all things already we know. Okay, so Node.js is a application software, okay, that installed in our system which executes the JavaScript, right? So all those things already we have idea, right? So this is all about Node.js as of now. And we have done last class we have done, like we have set up one Node.js application, dummy application, right? In the initial application where we saw the package.json, and the package.json contains all the data. So that we saw last class, right? So all those things we have already covered it up. Now let's go for Node.js. So before, okay, so Node.js, so first thing is like you have to understand. So yeah, so let's go for first. So today we are discussing in Node.js HTTP and HTTP methods. So hypertext transfer protocol. Okay. So this we are going to study. So why we are going to study this HTTP? What is the use of this HTTP and what is helpful in our Node.js development? Okay. So all those things we are keep on. We will see in this next coming slides. So in HTTP and HTTP methods, this topic we have some of the subtopics available. Okay, so those are like first we'll go for introduction. So we'll check like what HTTP is and what is the features and of HTTP, why we are going to see HTTP, what is the real world use of the HTTP. So that introduction and scenario, similar way, like where how we can map some real world things to make understand better for HTTP. Okay, and similarly we are going to check next topic as HTTP methods. So what are the methods available in the HTTP, how we are going to use that method. Okay, same what HTTP response structure, like how server responds, all those response structure, and then the notification when server sends anything to us to the client. So what will be the code, like some notification code it will send, so that we'll understand like whether it has successful or it has failed. So that will go for the status code. And how the server sends the response, right? So how the response structure will be there, what is the things will be there, body structure. So all those things we are going to check. And finally we are going to see a difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Means we have two protocol, right? One is HTTP, one is HTTP, but HTTP and HTTPS, so HTTPS is more secure, we'll tell, right? So those all things we are going to check with today classes. Okay, so let's move on to next. So next, as I discussed, like first we are going to see the introduction of HTTP. So as we know, HTTP is transport hypertext transfer protocol, right? So anything, like let's suppose here in the figure you can see, in the picture you can see here a human being, a user sitting on the laptop, and he opens up browser, okay? Either Google Chrome or any browser. He opens up the browser and he just types some URL. Like here you can see that it's a bunny.net. He's just typing the URL, and you can see that URL has already attached it HTTPS, because HTTPS is nothing but it's a set of rule, it's a set of protocol. Okay, it's a layer through which our data communication will happen. Like let's suppose server and client has to talk to each other. So to talk to each other, there will be some medium to transfer our data to the server, right? Like how we talk in the phone, like there will be the medium, right? There will be the medium channel between one phone to another phone. There will be bridge between us. So similar that we to transfer the data or to communicate with server from the client, we need this protocol, HTTP protocol. So protocol means what? Protocol means a set of rule. So to talk to them means simply we can't tell anything to server. Like we have to provide the proper guidelines or proper structured kind of queries or questions to the server, so that our server will understand that, analyze that, and process that, right? So all those rules and regulations are mentioned in HTTP. So we'll see in the further slides like what is the rules, how we have to send. So basically HTTP is used for communication, right, between browser and the web server, means between client and the server. Okay, so this is the useful. And see, so in with server you can ask so many things, like you can just pass normal text message to the server, right? You can just ask the file from the server, you can ask some audio clip, video clip, so many media's files also you can ask, and plain text also you can ask. You can ask all complete entire HTML file or some other file to share. So many way of transfer of data will be there, like multiple types of data will be there. That also we can transfer from client to server. So all those things work doing HTTP will be our bridge. Should be the bridge between this, right? So HTTP request, okay? So HTTP request and HTTP response. So HTTP is there to help us to communicate between browser and the server. I think you understood that HTTP, why it is used. Okay, so basically it is used for transferring the data or communication between client and the server. Okay, so that is required. But now we have to check like how the request means. Let's suppose I have to communicate with you. Then I'm tell, hi Amar, how are you? So this is like way of communication to you. But if I talk to you in some other language which you are not able to understand, then that is not a proper, like you want to understand and you want able to give me the response which I wanted for, right? So similar way, there is set of rule defined by HTTP. Okay, so HTTP. So that based on that rule only we are able to talk to the server. Then that way only server will understand our request and server will send the response back to us. Okay, but see, request. So this request you can see when this user has told like HTTPS bunny.net. So it's trying to reach to this bunny.net from browser, right? So bunny.net will be somewhere in the server, right? The server will, so he is asking, okay, give me the home page. Means basically he's going to bunny.net, and bunny.net means any, like let's suppose you are doing flipkart.com or facebook.com. So what happens? Suddenly once you type that flipkart.com, suddenly you will see the home page will appear. The home page is nothing but it's a HTML, CSS, some API integrated, some framework integrated. So all those things will be there, right? But suddenly these all things will come from the server. Okay, that all won't be there in your system. It will directly come from the server based on the domain name, flipkart.com or facebook.com, right? So similar way, automatically this will come from the server. So so he has written this much only in the browser. So browser, what it will do, it will just ask, okay, get the index.html page. So index.html might be the front page or home page of this bunny.net. So that will request to the server. Now server, what they will do, like, okay, server will transfer that HTML file, but with that it will transfer the status code. So here majorly I'm pointing the status code. Status code is nothing but, like, see, if let's suppose you are calling to someone, and then first what you tell? First you will tell hello, right? First you tell hello, and then that person tells hello. Why we call each other hello? We call each other hello at the first initial stage of start talking, means to check whether you are able to listen me or not, whether I am able to listen you or not. So because of that, or greeting to each other, that is also one way of talking, right? So mainly we'll tell hello to greet each other, or else to verify like whether each other persons are able to understand or able to reach out to me or not, or whether they are able to understand or not, sorry, listen to me or not, right? So all those things are greeting. So similar to that way, status code is nothing but it's a notification. So whenever server sends you the response, okay, whenever server sends you the response, then what happens? Client will get that data, plus client will get some notification code, some unique code it will give. So some of the codes are explained in the further slides, like what is the code which server sends to the client, which client will understand whether the data has success or whether data has, means this one, failure. Like, see, whenever you talk to some person, you will tell them, okay, today good news. So first you won't tell the news, right? First you'll tell it's a good news, because that is kind of the indication you are going to give. Or else if you want to tell the bad news and you will tell, oh, it's a bad news, then at least the person will understand, okay, whether I should react, how the way I should react. I should react in the good manner or I should react in the sad manner. So those all things, that is just a notification. So same way, status code is nothing but it's a notification. So by first of all, any user or any browser, first it checks, okay, what is the status code? If the status code is proper one, correct one, or good one, then it will be happy. It will tell, okay, yeah, thank you. But if the status code will be failure one, then it has to take some action. It has to again retry to ask with the server. Okay, so that is the work of status code here. And with the web page, with the actual data, server will transfer. Then it will get to display that home page on the browser. So once I'm typing facebook.com or flipkart.com, so internally these all things will happen. Okay, then only we can able to see the flipkart.com home page, right? Because it will ask the home page from server, then server will send that home page data and browser will render that HTML and it will show the content to us, and then we see the product listing or home page, what are the things are there, features are there. Okay, so that's how it will works. So all those things, so we to communicate between browser and server, we need HTTP request and HTTP response. So two things you have to focus on, HTTP request and HTTP response. Okay, now let's go for second slide, like scenario. Okay, so scenario to understand HTTP. So basically HTTP protocol. So as I told you, like see, HTTP has some set of way or a structure or rule to which we can provide, because whatever the framework, whatever the rules will be there, based on that only we have to provide request. Then our server will be easily understanding. Otherwise, server will not understand what we are asking for. Okay, so next let's go for the scenario. Okay, so scenario. So let's suppose one guy came to this is one cake shop, like Amma's Cake House, right? It's Amma's Cake House. One lady is there, right? So one guy came and he wanted some cake, right? He came to buy cake, from the shop. So what he tells, let's suppose he's doing from online business, right? So on online website he's trying to order, he's trying to check. So what he tells, he hit this URL, http Amma's Cake House colon, so where it is situated, so it is situated on first main road, like that. So this is the complete address of the cake house, right? So name of the cake house colon where it is situated, in which address it is situated. So that is first main road, he's telling. Then he's asking, okay, give me, he's telling like get, so get the cake list, okay, with red velvet. So there will be so many flavors or weight, based on the weight also it will be there, right? Like red velvet cake of 1 kg, half kg, 2 kg. So he's asking like all the list of red velvet cake category cake. So he's just asking. So this will be transferred as this way. And with that, what he gives, he pays with money in the bag, or he pays some online transfer, online payment he'll do, but he will pass this money very securely. And this money is very like sensitive things, right? Because if you want pass money to this cake house, she won't give you the cake back, right? So it's like a very sensitive things you are sending to that, like giving money or paying online is very sensitive things, right? Simply it should not go to wrong person, or it should not transfer by mistakenly to other person. So that is very secure things, we have to take it up, right? So it's giving in the bag. So once he go to here, he will order and he will just payment, he will just do the payment. That time the cake house will deliver the cake to the person. So this URL you understood, like this is the URL which we are going to explain now. Okay, so let's start with this URL. Let's see, Amma's Cake House. So Amma's Cake House here is nothing but it's a name of the shop or name of the server, because treat this cake as a server and this user as a customer, okay, or the client. So Amma's Cake House is nothing but it's a name of the server or name of the shop, right? So this is one thing. So first URL architecture is this. Now next, colon first main road. So colon first main road is nothing but it's a address. Like see, there will be multiple Amma's Cake House stores will be there, right? Franchisee will be there. But Amma's Cake House of which place? Okay, like let's suppose in Bangalore only Amma's Cake House will be in Marathali, in Indranagar. So basically here you will provide some numbers or some address, like okay, I want to order Amma's Cake House not from the Marathali, or I want the cake from nearby Sarjapur, right? So all those things we have to provide. So that is port. So basically port, so there are multiple port are assigned to the server, like in the on which the place where server is exist. Okay, so that is nothing but port. So we have to write the port as colon first main road, like that we have to write the port or the area where shop located. Okay, next, so what this guy is asking for, See, the guy, there should be some multiple operation, right? Here it can be multiple operation. Either he can ask something, or he can give something, or he can place order, or he can, he will deny, like, okay, I don't want that cake, or something like that he can do. So there are four operation mainly will happen, okay, to the server and communication between client and server. One is getting the things, means asking the things, right? Second is giving something to the server, okay, providing something to the server. Third is updating some details of the server. So that is third things. So update. Fourth is reading data from the server, right? Reading data from the server or deleting something to the server. So all these operations like create, read, update, and delete, these all four operations will be done to the server. So either you can ask something from the server, or you can get something from the server, or you can update, or you can delete. So these four operations we are going to check. So among four operations, this guy is asking get. Okay, so it's like a get operation. So he wanted something from the cake house. Okay, and now bag with money. So bag with money you can see here. So it's nothing but it's denoting the header information. So there will be one header information for every request of the HTTP. So whenever you want to talk to server, you have to provide some secure communication. It should happen, right? And it should provide some kind of like secure things, or the secure, like let's suppose you can talk about the tokens or the password, so that it will provide the genuinity of the people and server talk, right? So that is called as header information. So header information nothing but it takes some security measure. Okay, so we can provide some header data, secure data. Okay, like in this case it's providing the money. So in our case we'll provide the password, or we'll provide the token. So all those things will be passed as header information, and some extra information also, like, okay, I want a cake with wrapped with something, or some extra information you can pass, like I want the cake wrapped with some boxes. Okay, so all those information, like extra information, you can pass in the header information. Okay, so these all scenario will get convert later to this. Okay, so you have to understand this URL very properly. Okay, so next let's go for same structure I'm going to convert in the HTTP. So any you will call. So see, here you can see this is the domain, right? So HTTP, it's a protocol, right? www.domain.com. So any domain like Flipkart or Facebook or something. Now port is nothing but I discussed, like this is the address where this domain is situated, right? So the port, the address. Now next is the path to resource. Path to resource is nothing but like what you are asking for. Are you asking cake, or are you asking order detail, or are you asking payment detail? So what you are asking for, so that path will be there. Like let's suppose if you are going for a cake, then it will be cake list slash red velvet, cake list slash black forest, or give all the cake list. So something you are asking, so that path will be there, right? And then the query will be provided on the server. Like let's suppose you want cake red velvet, right? With that red velvet you are telling, no, I want red velvet cake with uh, 5 quantity, each having weight 5 kg. So you can pass here weight equal to 5, stock means quantity equal to 5, ampersand weight equal to 5 kg or 1 kg or half kg. Okay, so like this extra information means extra questions or extra things, information you are passing to the server. So what server will check? Server will tell, okay, someone has hit this URL and they want cake list. They want cake list with red velvet they want. Okay, so red velvet cake they want, but how much, what they want? So red velvet cake means they want five red velvet cake. So here will be their quantity equal to 5. So they will understand, okay, they want 5 red velvet cake, and they will see, okay, weight is 1 kg. So okay, so each cake should have 1 kg. So all this information will be used for server to process the request, okay, from the client. So this is nothing but it's a client requesting to the server by passing all this information. Okay, so any extra thing if you want to pass, you have to pass by question mark a equal to b, something equal to some values with ampersand if you want to pass multiple. If you don't want to pass multiple, then just pass something equal to something value. Okay, so these are the requests. Like normally you will see in any website this type of path you will see. Okay, so this is that things, right? Okay, now how it is like methods. So see, as I told, like get is nothing but it's a method. Why I'm telling is method, like because method is what, like something functions will tell, right? Like some specific purpose. Like see, get is for getting the things. Similar to get, if I have to give something, like let's suppose I want to register myself to the website. I'm doing user registration. So user registration is nothing but I am registering myself to the website. So that is nothing but it's I'm posting something to the website, right? I am dumping my information to the website. So that is that type of things we are just telling post. So post method is there. Another method is update method. So update method means let's suppose I wanted to modify my information of this from the server, like my mobile number I want to change, or my email number, email ID I want to change. So for all those things, I'll just write update method. So this method is nothing but it will denote what type of operation you are going to do. Are you going to get the things, or are you going to update the things, or delete the things, or provide something to the server, okay, or dump something to the server. So that is this one, get. Now HTTP is the domain. Already we know, like it's a protocol. Then version, they are telling version is already included by itself. Now these are the header information. So we have to pass the header information, like what type of server, like what type of data I want. Let's suppose I want the response back in file format. So I'll tell like, okay, give me the data in file format. I want the response in JSON format, like object format. Then I'll give server information, like, okay, content type should be JSON, something like that. I want additional information. So all those things will be passes to the server. So one is URL, one is HTTP methods, as you saw, like get method. One is request header. So header is nothing but it's a extra information we are providing, or some secure information we are providing here, like our token or password. Okay. Now HTTP body. HTTP body is nothing but either you pass the data like this, or you pass the data in body. So there will be one place like object. In that object you can provide your information. Like let's suppose you want a quantity not in the URL. This is the URL, right? Not in the URL but in the body. So you can pass that in the body. Okay. And the status code. So HTTP has a status code. So when the server will respond you back, so it will respond you with some code. Like with that code you will get to know whether it is success or whether it is failure. Okay. So all those things are there for HTTP protocol. So let's discuss this method. So we have four methods altogether, and multiple methods are there, but just we are going to discuss four methods in this. Okay. So four methods. So first method, so four methods called as CRUD. C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for update, and D stands for delete. If you understand this four CRUD operation, then you can write any of the APIs or any of the things in the server. Okay, later, because our main motto is to, we have to develop the server and we have to make resource available. Okay, so that is our work in this entire project, in this entire course. Okay, so see, so get method I discussed here, like we have get method, right? So same way we have the get method. So get method means what I'm trying to ask. Get method is nothing but it's a retrieving something, some data from the server. Like see this API, you can see get API slash customers. Okay, so I'm asking the customers details of 1, 2, 3. That is ID of the customer. So get me the details of ID of the customer whose ID is 1, 2, 3. So regarding that customer, whatever details will be there, like ID 1, 2, 3. So either name, email, phone, whatever the information required, it will is asking with the server. Now server will attach, send back the response. But in get method, what happens? We no need to provide any data in the object. Okay, in the body. So there won't be request body. The body won't be there. Everything, whatever you want to provide, you have to provide in the URL itself. See, in the URL, either we can provide like question mark. See, question mark a equal to b and x equal to y. So it's a query you are providing more information to the server. Okay, so that is get method. Similar to if you want to store something, like you want to register something to the server, right? If you want to create something to the server, so in that stage we have to go for post method. Understood? So this is very important. If you will understand this, then later while writing the APIs or while writing the code in the server, you will understand like what type of request client will give, what type of request client is asking. So based on that you can denote. So anything which has to stored in the server or anything which has to post to the server is post method. We have to use post method. So see here what is happening. To send data to the server means this data means user want to register themselves, like customer want to register. Okay, so to register with this all data. So what happens, registration, this all data is going to the server and it's creating the new entry to the server database, right? So to do that, we have to do post method. So we have to pass post method. Like see, when you will fill the form, right? In the UI, you will fill the form, and once you click submit, so that time what happens? That whatever form filling data is there, that all data will go to the server and store in the server when you are going to register. If you are going for some other thing, like let's suppose search, then that is like get method, because you are trying to search something from the server, means getting, you want something from the server. Okay, so that is post method. So post method we have to use for doing posting something to the server, or get method we should use getting something from the server. But post method can be used to get something from the server, that we'll discuss in the later. Okay, this is also used for getting something from the server. Okay, data from the server. So why it is used, we'll discuss. Okay, other method is put method. Put is nothing but it's an update method. Okay, so put method is nothing but it's an update method. Put means I am going to change, means let's suppose I have registered my name, email and password. I'm going to change my password. So while I'm going to change my password, I have to call put method. Okay, I have to call put method. Put method is nothing but it's a updating anything to the server. So see, put method requires the ID of the customer. So ID of the customer we have to pass, and then what you want to change. So I want to change password. So we are providing name, email and password. So password, previous password, you can see previous password was ASTF1234. Now I wanted to change john@admin123. So this is the password we are going to change in the customer detail whose ID is 123. Okay, so put method also has the body. So we have post method have body, we can pass the information, and put method have the body, we can pass the information. But if you want to pass the information in get method, you have to provide in the URL itself, this URL. Okay, with add question mark some values. Or else if you want to, now next is delete method. So delete method, as the name suggests, it's trying to delete or remove something from the server. Okay, so same thing, delete method will remove something from the server, and it does not have the request body. Okay, so nothing we can pass as an object, like how we passed in the put and post method. Okay, so entire your project, Node.js project, entire will be only dependent on all these methods. Okay, all these methods. Understood? So these all methods we have to write. So these all will be very useful. So first you have to understand in which scenario we have to use put, in which scenario we have to use post, in which scenario you have to create get, because these are the things which you have to create as a Node.js developer, because you are going to create a server. So we have to get to know, like client asking this, means that should be get method. Client want to post something in, that should be post this method. So all those URLs, different URLs you have to create to make available to the client. Okay, so we all discuss this in using example later. Okay, so let's start with, now just now we saw some requests, right? So how the requests will go, how the data will go from URL, how the data will go from body, which methods are there, HTTP methods. Now let's go, when server sends the data back to the client, how the structure will be. So that we are going to check here. So see, when let's suppose here we are sending, I want the cake, list of the cake, right? So this is request. Now what server will send? So server will send the three things server will send. One is indication, like see, status line. So which denotes like version of the HTTP which we are using. We have to ignore that as of now. And this 200 OK. So 200 OK is nothing but always denoted as success, means you are successfully getting the data from the server. So first thing developer will see, like whether they are getting 200 OK or whether they are getting some other code. So other codes are also, stator codes are defined in the next slides. Okay, so this indication you will get. So this type of formatting you will get in the from the server. Now next information you will get the header information, where it will be more detail about the data. Okay, so basically one status line and one data, because we are asking data from the server, then it has to give us the data. So the data should be presented in which format? Like see, now it is presented in JSON format, right? It's our object array. If you want to get this in HTML format, then you have to write here content type HTML, something, some HTML, plain HTML. If you want the data as a file, then you have to write some file/HTML, something like that you have to write. Then that content type, that header information server will send based on that. Okay, fine. And content length is the storage area for this data. So whatever we are asking cake list, right, from the server. So based on our asking cake list, server is returning this data. So see, server is returning all the cake list with stock. So red velvet cake is 17, black forest cake is 11, chocolate cake is 12. So these are the three things where server returns. Okay, so these three we'll see in the further slides. Further slides we'll see. Okay, so these are the response. Okay, now I understood this much, how the server works, what is the HTTP protocol. See, we are studying this HTTP just to, because we are initiating. So there should be the talks between browser and the server, or client and the server. So how the talk should happen, how the way, how we have to provide our request to the server, right? How we have to provide our request to the server. One second. Understood? Amar, any doubt here? It's just a understanding kind of thing now, okay? Because these all things only we are going to do in the Node.js, okay? Okay. So as I discussed about HTTP status code, right? HTTP status code. So why HTTP status code is required? HTTP status code is required so that server can send you the indication or notification to the client, right? Whether it is sending the success request or with response, or whether it's sending the failure response, right? So there are some of the code available. Unique codes are there. Based on that codes only, client will understand like whether I got success from server or whether I got failure from the server. Okay, you can mute it. Okay, so that codes are here, right? So let's suppose you are sending some request. So you got 100, okay? Okay, 100 status code you got. So that means you feel like see, let's suppose you are placing something on the Flipkart order. So first what will be there? You will get like, okay, order is pending, something like that you will get, like order is processing. So that is nothing but it's a 100 status code you will get. Like, okay, your order is in progress, or it's a pending, right? So soon will assign to something, soon will assign to the seller. So soon seller will send the request. So that is in progress state. So to denote in progress state, we have to send 100 status code. These all status code as a backend developer, you have to provide to the client. So once I will go and start creating the structure like a server creation and running the server and creating these things, then you need all these things. Okay, because you are now going to create a server, you are now producer, and then you are going to give to the client the things which they ask for, right? Means basically you are going to be a shop, that cake house shop. Okay, so you have to keep everything ready, right? You have to keep everything, like all the things, materials you have to keep ready, all the cake should be ready for you. You have to make it ready, then only you can sell to the people, right? Then only you can give to the people. So all those things you have to, so that's why you need all these things. Let's suppose you will tell, like in shop you will go, right? And they'll tell, if you ask like, yeah, cake is there, then they'll check what they'll tell. If you, let's suppose you will ask, okay, red velvet cake is there, you will go and ask the shopkeeper, then what they will reply? They won't reply whether it's there or not. They'll tell, okay, wait, let me check. So wait, let me check is what? That is 100. So if someone is telling, wait, let me check, means it's under progress. So that is like he is telling you 100 status code. Okay, it's under progress. Then what he will tell, he will check in the shop and he will check, okay, if red velvet cake is available, then what he will tell? He will tell, yeah, it's available. That means 200 it will tell. So 2xx to 2, after that 2 there is 2 more numbers. So if it tells, okay, cake is there, that means 200 it will say status code. Okay, or when, let's suppose that cake house does not have the cake, okay, but his another branch is there, some other place where the cake is available. Like sometimes we go no to shopkeeper, then we'll ask for something, but that time they will not have that, but they have some, they know some places where that things are available. Means it's like a redirecting from that place to another place. So that time they will give you the status code as 300 1. Okay, So it's like a some additional action to be taken to fulfill your request. Means you are asking red velvet cake. I may not have that red velvet cake. Means you are asking, but I can't tell now whether it is there or not. So what I'll do, I'll just talk to some other branch and I'll ask them, okay, if you have the red velvet cake, then they'll tell, okay, yes, I have the red velvet cake. Means till that time they are telling you 301. Means it's like your action still needs some time or some things to process and to give you the result. So that time we need 3xx. Okay, it's like a redirection. Redirection means one SOP to another SOP. Okay, next is 400. Like 400, this 4xx when it is coming from the server means, see, when you are asking something which is not clear to the server, means client came from somewhere like some other countries or some other language he is talking or some different information he is providing to the server which is not, which server cannot understand. Like you go to SOP and you will ask something which is he can't understand. That means it's a error from your side because you are not able to provide proper request which he can understand. So whenever any miss things will happen, like from the client side, let's suppose you are passing wrong queries, you are passing wrong detail to the server. That time it will tell 400 or 4xx. Okay, it's a client error, means client has to change. Server cannot do anything, right? So that is 4xx. Next is 5xx. 5 double x is nothing but client is proper. Client is sending the information to the server, that is proper, that is okay, that is good. But this time what happens, that shopkeeper only not able to process your request. So either let's suppose you are calling to shopkeeper shop and that shop is closed today. So that is like a shop closed means that is their problem, right? So they have closed means they are down. So same way, if you are trying to reach out to the server and the server is down, server is not able to process your request, that is server error you will get. So that type of request will be denoted by 500 or 5xx. Okay, so it's a internal server error. So many times have you seen? So understood. So 4xx is client error. So any error you got in the 4xx code, that means you have to not blame to the server. You have to think like, okay, okay, this 400 means it's not okay. Means what I am asking, the server is not able to understand, or there is not availability of things in the server. Like let's suppose you are asking Black Forest cake, that is not available in the server. Then what they'll tell? It's not available in the server. For not something 400 something he will send. Okay, this is not available. What you are asking for? Okay, understood this code with cake. First is 100. 100 means it's processing. You send the request and server is taking time to process. That is processing 100. Okay, 1 double X. 2 double X is nothing but it's a success. Means yeah, it's available for you. 3 double X means okay, in this shop it's not there, but it needs some more time for you to confirm. Okay, like it might be there in the some other branch. Okay, it's like a redirection from my shop to other shop. Or I'll tell you, no, it's my shop, it is not there. You can go for check the similar shop, there is there, or other branch is there. There you can check. Or I can talk to other branch and I can tell. So that time you have to send 3xx denoted by status code. Okay, 4xx means whatever client is asking for that is not available in the server or that is not understood by the server. Okay, so that time 4xx client error. 5xx is nothing but I am asking proper things only, but server does not have that. Okay, or server got down. Server got down, or server is not reachable, or shop is closed as I told, right? So today shop is closed, or shop is not giving the things anymore, right? Not selling the things, that things what you are asking anymore. So something like that, or while processing your request only, or some, let's suppose you are ordered cake and cake got destroyed by the shop. So what they'll tell, okay, okay, got destroyed. That is like server from their side, right? That is a mistake from their side, not from your side. So that time you have to send it as 5xx. So see, so similar way. So 2. So let's see for 2. So 200 okay. 200 okay when you will get as a response as a when server has to send 200 okay. When server finds the data, proper data, and it is sending data with the status code. So that time it has to send 2 okay, 200 okay. Now 201 created. So 201 when you will get as a response, when the client will get as a response, or where when server has to send 201 status code, when client send something to the server to store, like when we are doing or to something create or to make new entries to the database to the server, right? So that time it will get 201 created. Means if something you are making entry to the server, something you are posting to the server, that time you will get 201 created. Okay, 301 means okay, now this is, it's not in this place but it's in other place. Okay, that is 301 moved, means moved from one place to another place, redirection. Okay, 401 is unauthorized. 401, so when you have to send 401 as a server, let's suppose you are not a safe or you are not the staff member of the shop or cake house and still you want to enter to the kitchen, then that time you have to send like, no, you can't enter our kitchen because it's a restricted area, you are unauthorized. Means you are not authorized to enter our kitchen, only our staff member and our owner are authorized to enter our kitchen. That time you have to tell no, 401 unauthorized. Means let's suppose I'm asking something to access from the server, but you are not authorized to access. Like see, in one school, principal can change your attendance, but you can't change your attendance. You are not authorized to change your attendance. You are authorized to only see the attendance, but not change the attendance. Means that time, let's suppose if you are trying to change the attendance, then it will tell you, no, you are not authorized person to change your attendance. So that time it will call that, it will send the reply as 401, you are not authorized. Okay, 403, it's a forbidden. This is also kind of like you are not eligible to take that, something like that. It's a forbidden for you. So maybe because of some internal issue it might happen, or something it's breaking in between communication. That time it's called, it's sent as forbidden. Means you are forbidden to do these things. Okay, 404 not found. So when server sends 404 not found, when client will ask something which is not available in the server. Like let's suppose server has red velvet cake and you are asking, no, I want black forest cake or I want butterscotch cake. So that time server will tell, no, the cake which you are asking for is not available with us. So that time server will send 404 not found. Okay, 404 not found. Okay, next is 405 method not allowed. See, method not allowed means, see, let's suppose you are asking red velvet cake with square shape, not with the circle shape. Okay, are you asking red velvet cake with some extra decoration? So that time it will tell, no, 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 this type of modification is not allowed. Okay, means you are asking square shape cake and we have circle cake. That means we are not processing your request. Means we can't give you this request, this response we can't give you. Okay, this we can't give you. Means you are asking different functionality to that cake, right? So that time it will tell method not allowed. And these all codes, you are a developer, you are the backend developer, you have to send based on the condition of the client request. Okay, so let's suppose in upcoming things you are writing the code for login or you are writing the code for sign up. So during the sign up, which code you have to send? You have to send response as 201. During the login, which code you have to send? You have to send as 200. Means login means what? You are successful, now your detail is going to you. Okay, so 200, right? Understood? Let's suppose let's suppose you are asking, give me Sandeep password, right? Password. But Sandeep password cannot be given because Sandeep is not logging to that. Other person are logging and trying to ask the Sandeep password. So that is unauthorized. You have to send as 401. Okay, so you have to send as all these status code. Okay, 413. 413 is nothing but, let's suppose your query is very long, like you are sending on PDF, which server cannot process that. Server has some limitation of request, right? You have to send request in very small manner or whatever the payload structure, payload size they have provided. Beyond that size, let's suppose you are sending one booklet to cake house to get one cake. Then how that cake house people will read your booklet to understand what you want? so that they will deny. So that time they will tell like payload is too large, means you cannot send payload like larger payload to server to ask something, right? So that time you have to send 413. Next, 500. 500 means either server is down or SOP is destroyed or closed, something like that. Okay, 502 means bad gateway, means server is there, means SOP is there, but right now maybe it has got overloaded with so many orders. Okay, so many orders, then it is not able to handle the orders, more orders. So that time it will come as bad gateway. Or let's suppose it's like a starting time of the server. Someone has started the server, or just now they have opened the SOP. So they'll tell, no, 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 bad gateway. I can't process now. Give me some time, something like that. Okay. Now 503. 503 is server unreachable. Means the server is unreachable means it's not reachable now. Maybe something happened, issue happened in the server, or maybe something happened in the SOP. Okay, it's not able to open now, or something happened to their home, or some emergency happened. So it's not reachable as of now. So that time you have to send 503 status code. Okay, so I focused more on the status code. I explain you all the status code so that later in the future, when you go and write the code in the backend, you have to send very proper status code. Okay, what error will come, what I have to send. Okay, what code I have to send. So all those things you have to send very properly. Okay, these all status code is required for you. Okay, later. Okay. So next is HTTP response body. So how response body? So as I told you, right? So we can ask them like we can ask them multiple kind of data file data type, right? So if you ask like, okay, I want text file, text HTML. So text HTML to send. If you ask, let's suppose I want plain text file. So plain text file it will give. If you want, if you will ask, okay, I want in JSON format. So they will give you JSON data. If you will tell no, I want in image format. So they'll give you image format. If you are no, I wanted to convert it into PDF, give me in the PDF format, whatever I'm asking for. So those all types of data it will provide based on the you ask, because these are all the information you will provide in the header. While you are passing the header to the server while requesting, see here headers you saw, right? Somewhere you saw headers. See, this is the headers. So here you have to provide content type as application/JSON. That means you are asking server, give me the data, but give me the data in object format. Or if you pass here content type as, let's suppose something like a PDF, application/PDF, then you are asking server, give me the response, but in PDF. Okay, so server will give you similar response, similar type of response to you. Okay, so that is response body. Okay, so one we have already studied response body means one is status code and one is it's a body. Okay, so what it's giving, it's a giving you data, but the data will be based on the type what you are asking for. Understood? Okay, now HTTP versus HTTPS. So as we know, HTTP is used for communication between two server and client, right? So why HTTP and why HTTP one extra S is there? So HTTP will only used for communicating between client and the server, but there is no any standard or there is no any secure talking is there, right? Secure talking is not there via HTTP, but HTTP yes is secure talking between client and the server where other cannot attack on that, other cannot listen to that, right? Other cannot listen to that. Like let's suppose we both are talking very secretly. Why secretly? That is called as HTTPS. Means other than we both, or other persons should not listen our word. So that is called as HTTPS protocol. So it has some more way, means it's like a securing your information or securing the communication between client and the server. Okay, so that other hackers cannot attack that. Other person cannot take that information in between. Okay, so that is HTTP. Yes. So it's like a high securely communication between client and the server. Okay. So see HTTP. So HTTP is nothing but it's like a transferring data between client and the server. But HTTPS is secure version. Secure version means whatever talks happens with the client and the server, there will be encryption and decryption. Encryption means changing the one form of data to another form of data. Like let's suppose I'm writing Sandeep, but that Sandeep will change into A, B, C, D, or something, has something it will change. So which other people will take also, they can't decode it. So that type of secure talks will happen. Like see, previously you used to see in WhatsApp, they were not giving some pop-up like your message end-to-end encryption is there for your message, both message chats, right? But nowadays, if you open any new chat, you will see on the top header, it will be written like message between you two people are like highly encrypted or secure, means other cannot track that, other cannot get that message. Okay, so there are things will be written, so that is highly secure. So the difference between HTTP means encryption. No encryption is used. HTTP is very like vulnerable to attack. Anyone can get the information if you are doing HTTP. Okay, request. But HTTPS, if they attack also, they can't get anything because everything will be encrypted and the algorithm will be very tough to crack. Okay. Now, HTTP port. So by default, some system ports are there. Like if you want to run your application, you want to run it in some a specific address, right? A specific port. But this 80 port is available only for HTTP. Okay, and it is reserved. You can't use this 80 port for your application. Okay, so similar to that, HTTPS has address fixed 443. Okay, for HTTPS. So this is one. Another, performance wise, HTTP will be faster. Why faster? Means there is no mechanism of making it secure. As it is, you are sending. Like, okay, I'm telling hi Sandeep, then it is going as hi Sandeep. In between, someone can take that information hi Sandeep. Okay, but through HTTPS, if I use, then it will go hi Sandeep as hi ABCD has dollar something something it will go. So to convert that hi Sandeep to dollar and something, and again convert back to hi Sandeep to the server client side, that also has some encryption and decryption technique. So that will make the HTTPS somewhat slow, bit slower. But it's not that level of slower because of like so much upgradation happened in HTTPS. Okay. So because of that, it's not slower, but it's somewhat will tell like faster than HTTP. Okay, so this is all together about HTTP we have discussed today. Okay, so first we discussed about what is HTTP. Okay, so it's a communication between client and the server. Then we understood HTTP response. Then we understood HTTP code, right? HTTP status code. We saw so many status code. Then what is the response format we saw? Okay, how to pass, how to call, how to make a request to the server, that we saw. Then we saw what is the header information like content type. What is the content type? Whether you're asking for application text file or whether you're asking the data in object format. So all those things we are going to see. So one last example I want to show you after talking so many things. Like see, I have created one server. Okay, so I have created one server. No need to understand anything. I'll just show you the things. Okay, so I'll just already I created the server. Okay, so later like this way only you have to create your server. So let's suppose one application I have done and I have created one server. So server is running on this port. Okay, so basically I started one server that is running on port 5000. Okay, now server is running. Okay, now server has one, let's suppose login, this one code in server it is written. So login code is nothing but if you go to user controller, you can see there is a, oh, sorry, user route. There is a code in the server written as profile. Okay, and auth route there is written as code as login. So slash login in server there is a code of slash login, means this resource or this cake is available, login cake is available. Now client has to access this slash login. So how they will access, I'll show you. So we have one client application. Okay, we don't have right now website, so that's why Postman is the software tool which acts as a client, means which acts as a browser. Okay, now see, I wanted to trigger that login wala request. Okay, so these are the client request. So I'll go to user login, means I want to trigger the request, I want to get the data or something secure data. Okay, so I'm doing method as post guest. I've already explained you, right? If you want to get the, so if you want to get something, then you are writing get method, right? So these are the method you are selecting later, right? So I want to just login, so user login, so you're writing user slash login. Now I'm passing this data user, and then the type should be in JSON, right? type should be in JSON, and header information I'm providing, which is hidden header information, 8 hidden information. So by default it is application slash JSON. See here. So I'm asking server, whatever data you are giving, give it in JSON format, that I am asking. So this information I am providing. In body I am passing like, okay, give me the detail of the user whose username is admin@avtsl and password is admin@123. Now see, in this place the response will come. So once I trigger this, now see what it's telling. Okay, so it's telling like user slash login is not available. Okay, is not available. So what is the reason? Means maybe there is auth required. Means it's telling this path is not available. Okay, so maybe something happened to this, or something happened, like something breaking is happening. See, the server is sending post slash user slash login 404. Now tell 404 is what? 404, when I told you when server will send. See, server is sending 404. Server is sending 404 means the cake which you are asking is not available with us. Means the login request which you are doing, that is not available in the server. Okay, not available in the server. So either your request is wrong or something is not in my system. Okay, understood? Got it? So this is basically we have to do request. So this is done by the front end people. But whatever this response is coming now, whatever process you have to do when something will come. So these all code you have to write in the server. Like see, login request is there here. See, these are the login requests. You want to understand, I know, but just to make you aware of all this, I'm just writing. See, this is the login. So anyone they triggers like user slash login. So you have to come here. See, auth route, and if you go to app.js, so it's like API slash auth. The URL was wrong, so I'll just change that URL. It's not, this is not. Okay, let me go for new tab. Okay, it's saying already it's okay. Here it is, right? So the URL was wrong, right? So I'll make the URL correct. So I'll write API slash auth slash login. Okay, let's see what is happening. Oh, email is required, so I have to pass email. See, it's saying email is required. 400 bad request means it's telling maybe your payload is wrong. So email is, it's saying email is not proper. So I'll write admin@gm.com. Okay, admin123. I'll just write. Let's see. See, I got the detail 200. Okay. See, this is client. This Postman is nothing but it's a client or a browser. So client is asking to the server, okay, give me, log in to me to the application, and I'm passing email and password. Like how you'll go to login page and you'll type your email and password. So based on that, you will get something back from the server. So see, in this place, you can see server has given 200. Okay. Oh, server has responded successfully. Means I got successfully response by this detail. Okay. And then these are the details. So the user is admin, last name tech, email is this, role is admin. So these all data you are getting from the server. Okay, but if you change anything to the detail like password you are providing wrong, then it won't give you. It will tell like invalid credential, means you are not passing the proper data. So all these things like 400 bad request with data, 200 with data, these all is coming from the server, and that all code is written by you and me. Okay, you are the person who is going to write all this code. Okay, so these all things are there. Okay, so these are the only project which you have to do later in the upcoming project. Okay, so these all things, it's very, very easy. No need to get scared. Just one time you have to follow the things. Every time you have to follow the same things. It's just a matter of learning once. Okay, so basically the main basic information you need is, now you understood, I think, proper picture why I was saying like, yeah, this is required. Why you are saying this all HTTP and all, because everywhere you are seeing, right, 200 you saw just now, the response you saw, the status code you saw, the data you saw, right, the data you saw here. See, the data you saw, this is the data which you got. So it's in JSON format. You tell like XML, so it's something it will come in XML, text format, some text format, something it will come, right? So these all things are there. Understood? These all things are there. Got it? In this is request and this is down response. The time it took 139 milliseconds it took, and what are the size 993 byte or bit it took to give you the data size. Okay, and here the server is getting some logs and all, right? So these are the logs. So same, this will be deployed in the cloud, then it will become server for you. Right now we are running the local server. Understood anything today? That is the reason I was talking about this post. I was talking about this status code. I was talking about the data passed in the post. I was talking about the URL. I was talking about what type of data you are going to get. So all those things, that is the reason I was talking about. Okay, understood? Somehow, somewhere. So we are keep on going and seeing so many things. Okay, later in the class. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, summary we have discussed. That's it for today. Thank you.